But notice that we can't start the shipment that has not been added. If you look at our application flow diagram, we need to create the shipment first before we can start it. So let's just work with that flow, because it is the logistic company that will come here to start the shipment, but we need to now proceed based on what we have on our wireframe to create this particular side of the application, so that we have the header tag here, we have the subheading, and also we have the button where we can add the shipment or create the shipment. Then we have the button, a table to track it, and we have the footer. Then we go ahead to create the modal that will help us to create the shipment. Then from there we start it. Then from there we can check the latest. Then from there, once the receiver has confirmed it to have received it, we can then complete the shipment. So let's just go in that sequential order. So we'll follow the same process that we have been following since we started creating this application. So we have this component, this entire component, let us call it the shipment list. So this shipment list, we have the name of the complaint, again, subheading, the button that allows us to add a new shipment, and also the list of shipments that will be displayed as a table. So the same process is what we are going to be following. So I'll just go to this my components folder, and I should be able to do that now. So I'll just create a new component called shipment list.js. So the same thing, I'll create an arrow function, shipment list. So I'll just return, just to be sure it's visible. Let's just do it with div first. Let's do it with div. So I'll just say shipment. Before we start working on it too much, you must be sure it is working as you want it to work. So don't forget, once you create it like this, this is the same way we have been creating it since. Then you go and export it here. So let me put it in a quarter. Import shipment list from that same folder directory. So just put it here to export it. There must be a comma after every of. So I'll just pick that particular shipment list. Then I'll put it here. Then to be sure it's working, I'll just put the create shipment list here, and I'll save it. So once you have saved it, I'll then come and check to see if it is working. See that, yeah, it is actually, our own page is actually saying it. So that means we can then go ahead to create our component. You can see you have the header tag and also this particular element. Let me see. Yeah. You have this, then you have the button, then you have the table. So let's go ahead to create it. Don't forget, anything you are creating, if it has some more component like this, you should put it in a container, then you should put it in a row. You can see this is a container and this is a row, this is another row, just that the two of them, they are at the extreme end of the row. And then you have your table occupying the full width of the container. So let's go ahead to do that. So now that we are sure that our shipment list is opening effectively, so let's go ahead to add the components. So the first thing, you now know how to deal with grid now, which is the container, row, and the column. So I'll just come in here, container, then I'll create the row, then I will do, let me do a class name, just to add the padding. Let's do padding of 4. Let's do padding of 4, and also the row. Let's also do a row of align Let's align the items to the center. Align item to the center, and then that's for the vertical. And for the horizontal, let's say justify. That means the two of them should be at the extreme end. So align item center is, if you have really read the CSS documentation that you are asked to read, you should have come across this. So align item center means that the vertical alignment should be at the center vertically. But when you talk about justify content, it's talking about the horizontal alignment. So if you say justify content between, meaning that the two of them should push to the extreme end so that you have equal space in between them. So justify content between. But all this is just by the way, it's not really that compulsory. So once we have the row, then we want to have two columns. Then we want to have my header tag. So you can see from our wireframe, it's kind of dark, so let me just call that text tag. Then I have the name of my application, DeliverX. Then I also have a paragraph, class name, estimated. You can see that one is not as bold as that other header. So I'll just say blockchain solution to supply chain management. So that's the first column. So let's go to the second column. So meaning that from medium upward, it will be 6 columns. That means it will up by 2. But if it is medium less or below, then it will take just 1 column. So by now you know what all these things mean. So I have my column. Don't forget we will still need to import all these components that we are using from React Bootstrap. So I have my medium 6, and also when it's on medium, I want the text to be towards the end, so that I have it towards the end like it's shown on the. And also I want to have a margin top of 3. Then I also want to have a margin top when it is medium. I want to have it to be 0. So if it is medium downward, then I want to have a margin top because it will be 1 column. But when it is 2 columns, there's only for a margin at the top. At the same time, all this just by the way, once you have a working application, it's fine. So I will then have a button. I see that's the button. You can always even use a button that you have used in any of your, maybe you have used a button before. You can see this is a button. I can just copy this button and come and use it again. There's no crime in doing that. So start shipment list. I'm looking for the shipment list now. Here it is. So I can just put the button here again and use it again. So maybe now it's not light again because I want it to be dark from the wireframe that we can see. So and also I don't think I need any class. So and at the same time, when this button is clicked, something should happen, but let us leave it empty for now. We're going to be seeing that later. And what's the text inside that button? This is it, add tracking. So I'll just say add tracking. So once you have been able to do that, I can just go ahead to save to see what we have. But don't forget, you must import all these elements that you have used from React Bootstrap, so that your app will not start giving you error. You use row, you must import it. You also use button, you must import it. So any component you use from React Bootstrap, you must make sure that you import it. And in case you forget to do that, it will give you the error, then you fix it. It's just one of those things. So let's save to see what we have. To save, just do Ctrl K and X. You can see it's looking like our wireframe. Then you have your DeliverX, and you can also check the responsiveness. Don't forget how to check the responsiveness. Just right click, then go to inspect, then come to this particular button. Then you can see how it will appear on the mobile. So you can see that's the function of that margin top. If you don't have that margin top, it will be very close to it. So now that we have that, I think we can move